This is home. Way 31 Hometown News starts now.
Good morning, and thank you so much for joining us. I'm Jillian Pavlica.
And I'm Justin McFarland. We've got breaking news from the highest court in the United States. Same-sex couples will be able to get married in every state in this country. Now, couples from all over the country are celebrating this morning at the Supreme Court. People were outside chanting, "Love conquers hate."
This decision impacting every state, including the 14 states that banned same-sex marriage. That means that all couples in Tennessee and Alabama will be able to obtain a marriage license.
Stephanie Ramos is live right now just outside the Supreme Court with the very latest on that decision, how the justices ruled. This was a 5-4 decision and a very controversial one by the Supreme Court. So, Stephanie, what are people saying now?
In a historic decision, the United States is now a nation where gay people can get married. The Supreme Court ruled today gay and lesbian couples have a constitutional right to marry. The 5-4 decision is an end to an extensive and combative battle over what many are calling the defining civil rights challenge of our time. It's a moment for history. In a 5-4 decision, the Supreme Court said today that same-sex couples do have a constitutional right to marry in all 50 states.
They've reaffirmed that all Americans are entitled to the equal protection of the law, that all people should be treated equally, regardless of who they are or who they love.
Outside the court, jubilation.
This is about human dignity, and this is about equality.
37 states and the District of Columbia already allow legal same-sex marriage. But with this decision, same-sex couples in the remaining 13 states will now have that same right. As we've seen in many close decisions recently, Justice Anthony Kennedy was the deciding vote.
Well, we'll continue to stand for the reality that marriage is the union of a man and a woman.
There's been a huge swing in support for same-sex marriage in recent years. An ABC News Washington Post poll in April found that 61% of Americans say gays and lesbians should be allowed to marry legally, the highest level of support ever. The case behind today's ruling started 2 years ago when the Supreme Court ruled in a separate matter that same-sex couples must have the same federal benefits as married couples. They, however, did not address whether or not gay marriage is a constitutional right. As of today, it is. Live at the Supreme Court, Stephanie Ramos, ABC News. Back to you.
Now, there is a lot of excitement right here in the Tennessee Valley as well. We have you covered on everything you need to know. Right now, Way 31's Carla Fields is at the advocacy group Free to Be when that ruling came down. She joins us live from there right now. Carla.
Hi, Jillian. We are live here at Free to Be in North Huntsville. We were here this morning as the decision, that ruling came down from the Supreme Court, and the reaction was quite the odd. You can see we still have a crowd here this morning, and you can just see from the small crowd that's gathered here, there was lots of celebration happening this morning, and we actually got to speak with some of the couples this morning, and they say that this is something that is still unbelievable for them to witness in person this morning. And again, we were here, and we're actually joined now by two of the couples who were here this morning. Amber and Ashley were actually married back in February here in the state of Alabama. They were the second couple to get married here in Madison County, and they tell us that despite today's ruling that there's still much more to do, but they say that this ruling today is just a step in the right direction. And we were talking earlier, and when we were talking, you were just saying, you know, because it's such a controversy topic to discuss, that you all have actually, like many others here today, have had backlash and negative feedback from family and friends and had to cut them off and move forward without them. Tell me a little bit about your personal experience with that.
People that we think that are friends or family members that we thought were close, when it comes to this kind of controversy, that's what people make it out to be, they show their true colors, and you just can't let it hold you back. Yes, it hurts. Yes, it's painful, but you just got to keep going. And that's what we've had to do with some family members and some friends.
Now, you all were here this morning as we were watching and waiting for this ruling to come down, and the moment that it happened, there was just this, it was emotional for you, and I sat there and I saw you for a minute tear up, and I had to go over in the corner and I saw you cry. Tell me a little bit about what this means for you and others moving forward and having those same privileges as other couples.
It's just, as you just said, it's the same privileges. We weren't granted that before. We were almost looked at as like second-class citizens because of who we're with, and especially in the state of Alabama, especially in the South, period. It's a big deal. It's a big deal nationwide, but it just means so much to everybody here, gay or straight, because it's equal rights. It's not just gay rights.
And last question as we wrap up here, you know, just sitting there and watching, as they said, the Supreme Court announced, yes, this will happen and it will become legal in every state here in the country. What was going through your mind? Was there ever a doubt for you as a couple? You've been married a couple of months now. Was there ever a doubt that things could go the other way?
We've been together for 9.5 years, but married for only a few months, and it was an inkling of a fear right when they said, it's a minute before they announce. It went through me like, what if it's not what we want? What if it's not what's right? What if this nation takes a huge step back? But it pulled through, and it was an amazing feeling. You could feel it all through the room. We were all shocked and happy. This is great.
Right, and just their emotion is the same as many couples throughout the country this morning as that decision came down. Now, Free to Be will be here all day long, and they actually have someone on hand today. If you're interested in getting married, a same-sex couple, have that certificate from the courthouse, you can come over here to Free to Be and get married. And there will also be a celebration here at Free to Be tonight at 6 p.m. Reporting live this morning from Free to Be, Carla Fields, Way 31.
So much, Carla. We appreciate that. In the meantime, our coverage continues with Way 31's Christine Flores. She is live this morning at the Madison County Courthouse, where couples, whether you're gay or straight, can get marriage licenses today. Christine?
Here at the Madison County Courthouse, the probate judge is not expected to be in today, but the office says they will still be issuing marriage licenses to any couple that walks in seeking that license. Now, the office says they're still waiting on the official email, either from the Probate Justice Association or the Alabama Law Institute. Now, this email will lay out exactly the details of today's rulings and its expectations. Now, the price still remains the same. It will still be $59 per license. And some of the changes that have been done to this application is, rather than saying bride and groom, it now says spouse and spouse. Now, they have yet to see any couples go into the office today to put in their marriage license, but they are hopeful that they might be seeing some here in a few hours. Reporting live at the Madison County Courthouse, Christine Flores, Way 31, Hometown News.
Now, we have reached out to several local probate judges, and people in our newsroom are still making calls right now. The Colbert County office is closed until further notice. DeKalb County's probate office is issuing licenses to anyone and everyone. Franklin County, meantime, is not issuing licenses to anyone. The same goes for Jackson County, Lawrence, Limestone, Marshall, and Lauderdale counties. Morgan County is not issuing a license until the judge has reviewed the 103-page document. For a complete list, just head to our website, waytv.com.
Well, now all the reaction to this has been positive. We posted this decision about this landmark call by the Supreme Court to our Facebook page, and we got some reaction. You can see Gene Woodward says, it's a sad day in the USA. Diamond Woodworth says, there is nothing historic about this move. And then Sandra Weaver says, this will be left in God's hands. You can join the conversation right now on our Facebook page.
Governor Robert Bentley was at an event this morning when the news came down. Here's what he had to say about that decision.
We have to go, obviously, by what the courts say, but I certainly can disagree with them, and I do. I think that this is an incorrect ruling. I honestly think it should be left up to the states if government should be involved in marriage at all. But, you know, here again, I think that I think we have to always go back to what we believe is the definition.
In the meantime, Alabama Attorney General Luther Strange has also issued a statement shortly after the decision came down. He said in part, while I do not agree with the opinion of the majority of the justices in their decision, I acknowledge that the U.S. Supreme Court's ruling is now the law of the land. Short of a passage of a constitutional amendment protecting marriage as between one man and one woman, the U.S. Supreme Court has the final say.
Lieutenant Governor Ron Ramsey in Tennessee put out a statement on Facebook. He said in part that the federal government may have the ability to force Tennessee to recognize same-sex unions, but it cannot and will not change the hearts and minds of conservatives and traditionalists in Tennessee and elsewhere.
Now, for all of the very latest on the historic decision that the Supreme Court made today, you can visit our website, waytv.com.